What's the word?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode. Please welcome my guest, Jeff the Illest and Jimmie
Yo,
Wallace. Peace, my brothers.
yo, what up? What
Peace,
up? What
peace.
up?
How y'all been?
Everything all right? Happy Black History Month to everybody.
Oh, that's right. Happy Black History Month. Every day's Black History Month for me. So,
You better know it.
shout out to Garrett Morgan. Shout out to
Mm.
Lonnie Johnson, the guy who invented the water gun. Garrett Morgan did a whole bunch of stuff. Got your stoplight, I think, from Garrett Morgan. So, guys like that, we have always been inventors and people of ingenuity and skill. So that, that's nothing new to us, but it's true to us. So we revel in that every day in everyday life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
100%.
Say what, Jim?
So now I say 100%, man. That's good stuff. They need to get that type of recognition. When we bring a Black History Month, we tend to just, give respect and pay homage to the usual suspects. But no, we need to show up for them too. But let's get into what brings us here, man.
What brings us here today is the subject of the current music that we're hearing. I don't necessarily listen to a lot of it. It's not my cup of tea. I know where drill music comes from. I'm from that city. I'm from Chicago. I'm from the South Side, or I'm from over East, whatever you want to call it. I know where that music comes from. I grew up very close to where it started. I grew up in the 63rd, 62nd area off of Dorchester and shit like that. So I grew up very close to where some of that was coming from. So I know what it's about, and I know what they up to when they say they out doing drills and they drilling or whatever. Through the course of the last 10, 15 years, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. And I think I've brought it up on a couple podcasts, right? Where the music is so negative that people are actually being killed in everyday life just behind the music. I've never seen nothing like this. Have you guys?
No, I
To
haven't.
be
Man.
honest, no, at all.
I think I was thinking about it earlier, and I was thinking like, damn, I don't think we really seen it. I think the Big and Pac era kind of opened that. That's like the last time we really seen that type of energy in hip hop, remotely close to it, where people had to die behind some, mixture of music and street politics, and after that, it kind of died down. That's always been the topic, but circa around 2014, 15, and the emergence of Chicago violence, and mixture with music, it's just like it seemed like it was like the birth of it, the drilling thing, and it seemed like it's been on ever since. So we talking shit, we talking what, 6, 7, 8 years, 7, 8 years now, if not more.
Yeah, I mean it's been brewing
I don't
for a
know.
while. It's been brewing for a while, but it seems I'll give it 10 to 15 and
Yeah.
as a whole. But the last 5, 6, 7 years it's been really aggressive. It's been a real mainstream thing where people are more aware of it. You got some of this shit spilling over into Atlanta. You hear about the situation that they're having in there. New York, they got their drill scene. Now they got drill. They got their own brand of drill music or whatever. But
Right.
I don't know, man. It's different for me. I don't even think I know how to address it myself because I come from that type of environment. At this age, that's not what I want playing in my car. That's not what I want my nephew or any young kid listening to because it's very negative. And if you know anything about music, whatever you're doing, whatever you're putting out, it has the ability to come back to you at some point. What you give out is what you put out is what you get back.
Right.
I was raised on that, and I always believe in that. Speak out what you want the world to give you, and that's what comes back to you. And you have to walk in that. I think Proverbs 18:21 says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. and those that love
The
it,
time.
yeah, those that love it will reap the fruits thereof. And this is what we're seeing: a lot of death talk.
Well,
Yeah.
when you look at, to piggyback on what Jimmy said, um, like we come from an era of hip hop where the hip hop culture that we come from was trying to not put that out there. They was trying to combat it. You know, just today I did my Black
Mhm.
History short on self-destruction. You know, that when they
Talking,
saw
man.
something,
I just posted.
yeah, when they saw something that was becoming a problem, they decided to band together and say, enough of this foolishness. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do something to change the game, change this.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point, they started getting into more of themselves. They got rid of pretty much the whole lifestyle. You know, they started wearing the chains. They start, the music was more about positivity. That's when you saw people trying to get into Africa, Islam, the spiritual aesthetic of the hip hop culture and stuff like that. That's when you saw the rise of that. But now, and you can really see, because when I teach it, you can really see where record labels, that's a conspiracy or rumor that said that a bunch of record labels got together with some people in law
Yeah.
enforcement, yeah, and said that
Mm-hmm.
we have to do something about this positivity because we don't have enough blacks not going to jail anymore. So instead, they paid a couple of people to kind of switch it up. And, from that point, um, you had an album like Dr. Dre The Chronic. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a classic. That's a classic album. No holds barred. That's a classic album. But um, that album was the catalyst of what we see now, even though you had Little Ghetto Boy on there, which was a positive record. Uh, you saw hip hop started to change from there. Um, and then over time, over time, um, as we see now, a lot of these young people don't have guidance. They don't have no one telling them you can't do this. There's repercussions with the words that you say.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's nobody in their ear saying, "Hey, you can do better." Instead of talking about it and glorifying it, you should be able to talk preventative things. You know what I'm saying? To keep from hurting yourself and killing yourself. Um, and that's something that's non-existent in hip hop in this day and time, like that.
And
You have a lot.
as you have that going on, you have a system telling women that they don't need the male figure in that house. We'll give you more money if you get rid of the male figure.
Mhm,
We'll give you even more money if you keep him out of the house. And because some of these men didn't know what to do, they left. They left,
mhm,
think that they were doing the right thing, and they left. They left the responsibility.
mhm,
They left their spot open to be invaded by outsiders and and have these women out here tricked into thinking that a little bit of money mattered more than having stability and foundation and discipline in the house. So all these men end up in jail, right? And you have a prison population of 3 million, where 2.1 million are black men.
mhm.
So when we say there is no guidance, we have to acknowledge the fact that this is the other part of that contributed to what is going on currently.
Yeah, and that's society. They didn't like. They know, like, we can go, since we is in Black History Month. We
Yeah,
might as well go here.
yeah.
Um, the establishment and the white overseer knew that the black man was powerful and the black man was strong. So one of the ways to destroy the black family is take away the black man.
Absolutely.
Go
Absolutely.
go after the black man. Because once you take away the black man and break him, break his spirit, break his mind, the family goes downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that now, especially in the culture of hip hop. If a man or a woman speaks truth to power and speaks power in hip hop and tells it like it is, they looked upon as either lame, they looked upon as not respected.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting the love that they supposed to get as a rapper. But when they talk about murdering their own, using drugs that, because that's a whole nother conversation. We celebrate being a junkie and it's fun.
I think it's part of this conversation because they're escaping through this stuff. I think it's a part of it.
Yeah, like we celebrate being a junkie.
Yeah.
Instead of, and it's like we're living in a time where, we don't talk about prevention, like in your rap records,
Mm-hmm.
like, man, you use this lean, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna die. We come from that era where, crack was whack. Even though Whitney, made fun of it, people, we came from the say no to drugs era. And it was in the hip hop as well. And now we listen to it and they celebrate the junkie, celebrating drinking activists, and it's fine, and it's not good. And we have to get back to the actual factual, because when you look at everything that's going on politically as a people, we don't, we are not attentive to what's going on, especially when you have politicians taking away Black history in schools as we speak. And that's one of the things in hip hop that I know for me, I started reading books because of listening to Public Enemy. Listening to reading House Nigga by James Baldwin, reading How to Be a Black Man by Elijah Muhammad. Those books matter for real.
They still matter. They still matter. It's just the lack of attention that's being, or the lack of a push that's being given to the kids, even within the home, because a lot of them don't even understand what that is that they're supposed to be reading. One of the albums that kind of spoke to the era that we're in, to me, was Mos Def's album, Black on Both Sides. I forgot the name of the song, but he said hip hop went from selling crack to smoking it, medicine for the loneliness. Do you know what? I forgot the name of the song. I'm not.
I think that joint is "Don't Get Me, Don't Get Me." I think is it
that one? I think it might be that one. That one or Mathematics is one of those joints.
I think it's Mathematics.
Yeah, because the one you're saying is God. This is how you get God. Yeah, I think it's Mathematics or the song before or after that. But he spoke on that, and that every time I look around and I see what's going on, I'm like, man, this dude, he was already prepared to witness what we are seeing right now, and he didn't like the industry at all.
Right.
But you know what? I kind of touching back on what you said, Jeff, about the whole self-destruction. I kind of think posted some on my page last week, probably over the weekend, and I was looking at the video. I'm just a nostalgic person, man. So I'll just go back. You know what I mean? And as I was thinking, I was like, yo, I say, damn, I think self-destruction, stop the violence movement, and we all in the same game might be the last real charitable act that rappers have given back to hip hop.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when you really look.
Because when with self-destruction, you had the National Urban League attachment to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they raised money, the Stop the Violence movement was a movement. National Urban League was behind that movement to try to, stop violence in Black neighborhoods all over major cities.
Like you stop the violence and kick the signs. You know what I mean? Like
mhm.
there's no signs being kicked. You know what I mean? And there is no public enemy around no more. There is no place for a KRS-One. You know what I mean?
Right, or X-Clan.
Or X-Clan, you know what I mean? Any of these guys are Paris, all these guys, there's no place for them no more, and it's being flooded with, like you say, the user or the junkie, but they done turned from making the junkie, because we were shunning the junkie back in our day. Now they celebrate the junkie. You see what I'm saying? You would get caught holding a double cup and knowing what's in it, and talking about Molly Percocets and all this type of drugs. You wouldn't dare get caught doing that.
Yeah, you were shamed. You were shamed for using drugs. You were shamed for being materialistic. Even LL. Like, I never forget when I watched that joint on Netflix where they would, where they had my man Paradise and the people at Latin Quarters. And when they got together, they said after that self-destruction joint, that was a shift in hip hop. And that hip hop, man, they told people get rid of your gold chain. Like LL was like even getting